Oh hi, this sucker is the RG Slide. Ooh, and it just dropped today. So before I get my full review out, I thought I'd do a quick first impression, just a couple minutes, famous last words, just a couple minutes, to let you guys know if you're on the fence, should you buy it or should you wait? So let's just get to it. The Slide here is a contradiction in a lot of ways. I love the design, but it's just so chunky. I love the sliding part of it, but it just covers the controls without really protecting the screen. I love the screen, but it's 4x3 and it's not suited to PSP games, despite the fact that it looks like a PSP Go. It's just a bundle of contradictions and nonsense, and I love it, but I also hate that I love it, if that makes any sense. So strap in as I try to unpack all this nonsense and give you the bare minimum amount of information you're going to need to know if you want to buy it right now or skip it until later. So let's talk about design and form factor. This thing takes a heavy inspiration from the PSP Go. It is a big, rounded rectangle with a slider that reveals all your controls. You have power and volume on the side here. You got your USB-C down here. You got your headphone jack on the bottom. I like that. Your SD card, single SD card slots on the side. And then you got these two buttons here on the face. These are the back and home buttons that are going to help with Android navigation. This thing came with a screen protector, and I think you're really going to need it because the sliding gimmick, it does nothing to protect the actual screen. As far as the controls, the buttons all feel okay. The D-pad's pretty good. The face buttons feel good. The sticks are those tiny ones from the 557, so you're not going to snag them. They don't have any snapping that I could see, and they don't snag at all when you're sliding, but they do have very limited range. You got your start and your select nestled here in the middle, and they're kind of hard to hit. It's at the max extension of your thumbs. Your shoulder buttons and your triggers are very, very simple buttons. Nothing analog. They're just the same sort of buttons you've seen on Anbernic devices going all the way back to the 350 or the 351 line. They're not bad, but they're a compromise to this form factor here, so I can't be too upset. They're just not super ergonomic. Speaking of ergonomics, this thing is chunky as hell, and I both hate it and I love it. I feel like Catullus. There's a classical history major out there who just pointed at the screen. So Odie, I hate the way this design makes you hold it. I feel like my fingers aren't reaching the buttons properly. I have to keep looking down to make sure that I'm actually hitting the right buttons or even hitting them all. In the case of the start and select, like I feel like they should be here and I have to reach over, like move my thumbs. It's not great. You know what? Maybe a grip would help. I got half of mine to loan this out to my local pals at JC Studios so they can scan and make a demo grip. We'll see. It's just, the way it is not comfortable to me. It's a complete no-go when I'm laying down because of the weight distribution, and it's just kind of while I'm sitting at a desk or when I'm on the couch. So I hate that about this Slide. But on the other end, I love the design. This design is peak early 2000s. Like, I could see myself having this as a phone in college. It is such a perfect encapsulation of that era that I want to overlook the fact that it's not actually all that comfortable or even practical. It's heavy as all get out. It's almost 400 grams, which, if you live in America, that's just a little bit under a pound. The weight is balanced decently, but the design of the Slide makes it kind of top heavy. It wants to fall. But the Slide, look at that. It's perfect. It's perfect to me. Despite all the ergonomic deficits, quit sliding it, Sue. Despite all the ergonomic deficits on this, the Slide is so smooth and sturdy and clicky. Oh, I love it. I honestly wonder what people who aren't elder millennials will think about this. I feel like this is a moment in time. It's a nostalgia bomb for something that didn't actually exist, but it seems like it should have. So yeah, I love it, and I also hate it. But I love it, I think, probably a little bit more. There's just complicated feelings here. Let's talk about the screen, because that's going to be important if you want to play games on here. This is a 4.7-inch 1280 by 960 LTPS screen. LPTS stands for Low Temperature Polysilicon. This is kind of new with handhelds, and this tech allows for higher resolutions with more vibrant colors at the same time with a lower energy draw. The trade-off is that they're supposedly less durable. It is a visually appealing screen. I really enjoyed it so far. It's very vibrant, which is to be expected with the LTPS, and I didn't notice any of that PWM. I had the lights off earlier. I did it on a white screen with the brightness at super, super low. You can see here for yourself. Now, one thing you'll notice about the screen is that it's a 4:3 aspect ratio, and it's really well suited for most of your retro console stuff, all the way from NES to N64 up to PS2. I would have liked maybe to have seen more of a wide screen on here for PSP, but since you can play a ton of GameCube and PS2 on here, 4:3, it makes sense, even though it goes against the PSP Go aesthetic. Heck, I don't want to give Anbernic any ideas, but you put a slightly less powerful chip in here, maybe not an H700, but maybe the, what is it, this T610, and you make the screen wider with the same exact frame, and it's a dedicated PSP machine, you will sell 1 billion of them, okay? But they didn't with this. It's 4:3. It also has a 120 hertz refresh rate, so you can get really, really responsive views on here, and you can do black frame insertion and RetroArch if that's your jam. Oh, and it's touchscreen. See? So you can do all your Android navigation on here and play DS or 3DS touchy games if you want. Let's get to the price, because it's the reason why I pushed this out to go out as the thing dropped live, because it's $180 now if you buy it right now, and then it's going to bump up to $190 if you wait a couple days. Is it worth it? Honestly, it all comes down to if you like the design and if you like the form factor. Because you can get a 556 or another T820 device for cheaper, and they'll have different screens, they'll have different form factors. It honestly all comes down to ergonomics. We didn't even really talk about performance. I got GameCube running here, but we didn't talk about performance. This chipset on here will output all the way up to GameCube and PS2. You're not going to get 100% of the GameCube and PS2 libraries, but you'll probably get like 75% at native or even at 2x, and then the rest will be playable if you tweak your settings. There'll be a handful out there that are just notoriously hard to run in the first place, but the vast majority of both those libraries for GameCube and PS2 should work on here. We have a bunch of showcases on our YouTube channel for previous models using the same chipset, and I think Stubbs has done, 2 live streams on this device itself? So if you don't know what to expect, you can check those out, but too long didn't read. It's a pretty solid chip for the price. So real quickly, let's do a what did we learn? And we learned that everything about this, your purchase decision is going to come down to the form factor and the design. If you love this early 2000s janky experimental design era, this is going to be right up your alley. If you have any nostalgia for that era, or you just love unique designs, this is it. If you're looking for the best bang for your buck, or for the most ergonomic device, this ain't it. That's why I feel like the old Latin poet with this one. Odi et homo. Quare id faciam fortasse requiris, nescio sed fieri sentio et excrucior. Well, maybe not excruciating, but you get the gist. If you understood that, or heck, maybe you're really confused right now, regardless, remember to like and subscribe and all that jazz. We got a couple of live streams in the tank on this one already, and I'm going to have more of a deep dive coming soon, but I really wanted to do just a quick hitter on the 3 or 4 crucial decision points on this in case you were on the fence. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.